Chapter 9. Controlling Your Feelings with the Mind. Learning the Art. Life is 10% of our experiences and 90% of our reactions, said Charles R. Swindoll. We feel many things and generate so many thoughts, but how we react lies in our hands. This also includes controlling the way we feel and producing thoughts that improve our lives in general. Mastering feelings and emotions are one of the best things to do if you plan to improve the quality of your life. This is because we daily experience varying forms of emotions that trigger numerous thoughts. When these thoughts produce a wrong course of action, the outcome results in pain for us and those around us. Controlling your feelings will go further in helping you to channel the power of the mind. You will learn to avoid attracting sufferings and self-inflicted pain, and steer your life out of the deepest, darkest, challenging moments you will ever encounter. So much information has been provided on controlling the feelings with the mind, yet many are still not getting it. Why is this so? One reason is that they do not know how feelings and emotions are generated. Also, they have no clear understanding as to how these factors affect our thoughts and how they all work in tandem. You already know these points, as they have been elementarily described in the preceding chapters. But is this all you should know in taking charge of your mind? This is going to be the best part yet. Your keen attention is needed more than ever, as now learning to pilot your life in the right direction, the place you want to be. Mastering the art of controlling your feelings. Doing what appears to be the most comfortable option is what common among those whose feelings control them. This means that rather than feel good and does good, they have organized their emotions into feel good and feel bad. Procrastination does not do good, but it feels good. Processing trauma does good, but does not feel good. This logic has its application in so many things. Hanging out with our parents, eating healthy, and hitting the gym to work out, just to mention some examples. If your actions are controlled by the way you feel, you will never make tangible progress in any of your dealings. Your relationships and habits will be stagnated, as you cannot make any reasonable change since your patterns still follow the same course. This is as a result of your inability or unwillingness to relate your feelings to what is needed to be done and how you are to think. To master your feelings, here is what you need to do. Number 1, organize. You will be putting your emotions in context when you organize them. Doing this involves determining where they are produced, what they intend on doing, and who really is in charge. Becoming conscious of your feelings is very attainable, but merely taking notice of them would not direct your life. To organize your emotions and put them in the right context, using them to benefit yourself, you should carry out these few steps. List your feelings out. Write down a note describing the different feelings you are experiencing and your thoughts. This can be done at a time when you have a need for it. Some of these feelings penned down might contradict each other. That's okay. This note that has been written down not have to be in the prying eyes of others. Make sure you are in charge of yourself. Change your day's plan to meet different needs. Many persons approach their daily activities with an imbalanced mentality. They either want it all or rather have nothing at all. This is a very unrealistic way to approach things. Rather than pushing yourself through your daily task when you are burnt out, you should take some time off. Leaving home quite early to have some time for yourself is one way to do this. You should not adopt the all-or-nothing attitude by waiting for your vacation before you get the needed break you need. This is an appropriate route for work-life balance. It is very sustainable and yields more productive results on a personal note and in your work. You need a worrying list. Make an updated list of things that are currently a cause of concern to you. This can be done on a notepad or on your personal computer. Put down everything that comes up to mind. This list should not be restricted to one line of thought, such as finances. Rather, anything from relationship to money, health to project timeline, and so on. If the feeling is persistent, create a special note to take such items down. Set aside time to review the list and think about what you have on it. When you look back on the list, you will discover that most points do not worth your time and precious thought. In spite of this happening, you will also observe that some of the noted points require urgent attention. Do not linger. Act fast to address the issue. You can do this by making the action plan. This will build your confidence and strengthen your conviction that is within your scope to handle. Dreams are said to be just dreams until they are written down. Then they become goals. Making a worrying list is not only useful in addressing troubling feelings and thoughts, but can help in bringing positive feelings to life, such as dreams. You teach yourself the wisdom to differentiate between things within your control and things that are not when you write down your feelings. Identify their source, determine their outcome, and identify your role in them. Number 2, identify your goals. Identifying your long-term goals plays an important role when you embark on the path to mastering your feelings. It helps in the organization of all you feel. This is because not understanding what you eventually want in life means you would not be able to identify the most important things that are worth suffering for. You will not be able to differentiate between your feel-good feeling and does-good feeling. It is very common for persons to look out to measurement of others to grade themselves when things are not working so well with them. Doing this gives them the idea and impression that they are doing well or not. Basically, their success is being determined by that of other people, and they are the sole reason why this is happening. Sadly, this practice is not fulfilling. Identifying your goals will give you a clear-cut approach as to how you want your life to be. This will bring about fulfillment. Your set goal can be personal, social, professional, and financial. Organizing your feelings will bring some changes in your life to the fore. This is because these feelings is being integrated with actions. Your feelings are central to the change you are creating, or your goals are helping you to scale through the challenging situations you are facing. You will learn to embrace discomfort at that moment. See that it really isn't the enemy itself. This is a counterintuitive approach to embrace positivity. Other principles are helpful in mastering your feelings. These feelings are the underlying principle of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is sought by people who need help. The good thing is that it is applicable to everyone, whether you are experiencing symptoms on a mild or severe level. It can also be implemented if all you want is to manage your feelings and give yourself an extra edge to achieve success in life. These are the underlying principles. Identification of life problems. Recognizing the wrong elements in your life is the first step of CBT. It also involves looking out for those things that are really bothering your mind. You will not be able to make a substantial change if you skip this process. Awareness of the beliefs, thoughts, and emotions around these troubling issues. Becoming aware of the feelings and thoughts around the challenges being faced enables us to take decisive steps against them. Patients of CBT who have been able to identify such thoughts and feelings end up taking practical steps in mitigating the effects of these feelings. Identifying the root of each feeling in your mind cannot be overemphasized. You must know how a certain feeling is presented in your body. This includes knowing where and how it is experienced. Finding answers to which of your body parts feels warm, tenses, churns up when you are presented with feelings of anger, guilt, shame, and anxiety is one step that you can take. At this moment, you might not be fully aware of the reaction of your body to a certain emotion, but this can be addressed by observing your feelings next time the emotions you want to get a mastering is experienced. Identification of wrong thoughts. Negative thoughts abound, They do not reflect reality, as they are often exaggerated or entirely false. They do not paint the exact picture of what is really happening. Rather, they are expanded by our emotions. Learn to lower your level of arousal after identifying wrong thinking lines. This will help in keeping restrained and avoid taking swift actions that you will eventually regret. This form of control must be learned, as it does not come naturally. Learning involves knowing how to distance yourself from situations that are being presented, and exhaling. Taking a deep breath psychologically distance you from the challenge. It will offer you an opportunity to adapt to any situation that will arise from a problem. Correction of incorrect thought processes. The interpretation of the external world plays a great role in what you make out of life. Your thought pattern is responsible for such interpretations. This process involves shifting from old thinking routes to new ones. This is a vital step in changing your life and should not be readily dismissed. Each emotion passes a different message across, which is solely based on the interpretation of your situation in the first instance. Your initial interpretation can be accessed by understanding the message being sent by each emotion. Note that your emotions and feelings to a certain situation are always valid, since they represent your unconscious interpretation of the situation. In spite of this, they can be inaccurate as a result of misinterpreting the intent of action of external factions in the scene. It should be recalled that people who make the most of their lives are not controlled by how they feel. In spite of that, they do not ignore or suppress these feelings. Ignoring or suppressing feelings results in underlying pains, will take as much effort in the uprooting. All they simply do is master their feeling, get hold of it, and take charge. What does that involve?